Hello and welcome to the Vox News. I am Adi Tukumbo Akintayo. It's Nelson Mandela's day today, so we should all be happy. He is celebrating his 95th birthday in a hospital in Pretoria as events take place around the world and in South Africa in his honor. Students from the ruling ANC party congregated outside the Pretoria hospital to wish him well as he battles a lung infection. Family members have continued to visit Mandela, who is said to be making progress. The birthday of South Africa's first black president has been designated as an International Day of Giving, where citizens can give 67 minutes of their day to help others. 67 representing the number of years Mandela has dedicated to public service. And thousands of people are expected to come to Pretoria Hospital on Mandela Day.
We as the young generation, the young lions from the ANC Youth League, we decided today that we want to come, want to embrace our leader who has liberated us, who has made a great contribution to our education today, to our success, to what we are today. We're just wishing that a speedy recovery to get well very soon. That's why we are here. We are praying for him to get a speedy recovery.
Neil, happy birthday. I want to see you up and about and be strong. That's from Dennis Goldberg, the one you always called boy.
Diva, you've defeated many things in your life, bad and good. I have no doubt that even this, you will defeat it. This being the sickness or ailment or whatever, you will defeat that. We still want him among us. We still want Madiba to give our organization advices, you see. So we wish him many more years to come.
This is the greatest gift to the family. And thank you very much for all your prayers. The best gift you have given us through your prayers is to share Tata's birthday on the 95th. Now, you will turn all those structures we had erected around my house, meaning all those satellites there, will turn them into centers of celebration.
And his daughter, Zinzi Mandela, said that after a time of uncertainty, she's now confident that her father will be going home soon.
There were a couple of times where I was very insecure and uncertain and very afraid, of what might happen. But over the past 3 weeks or so, I've just seen a huge turnaround. Of course, I'm not a medical doctor. They're the ones who will decide or determine when he goes back home, but I'm confident it will be sometime soon. Yeah. I think because we also as family find ourselves in a situation whereby we actually don't know what to give him. Yeah. We've just decided because he loves to read and he loves coffee table books. So what we do now is that we just frame a collage of family pictures over the past year and we put it in a huge frame and we give him on his birthday. Yeah. And we'll be doing a similar thing today.
Yeah, I'm wishing him a speedy recovery. Zinzi here said yesterday, I'm told, that he's making marvelous progress. Wonderful. And I agree with her. I agree with her. And indeed, I think our people need to be optimistic about him. Yeah. I think it's important. I think the people must not be overcome by a sense of gloom. Which I think is wrong. Yeah. I think what Zinzi said yesterday is important, to give this, to say what she saw with her own eyes, sitting, watching television and all of that. So I think it's important to say a speedy recovery indeed, yeah. And then a happy birthday.
President Jacob Zuma wishes the founding father of the nation and first president of a united democratic South Africa, Mr. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, a happy 95th birthday. Madiba remains in hospital in Pretoria, but his doctors have confirmed that his health is steadily improving. On behalf of government and all the people of South Africa, we wish Madiba a joyous 95th birthday. We are proud to call this international icon our own as South Africans and wish him good health. We thank all our people for supporting Madiba throughout the hospitalization with undying love and compassion.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Madiba. We love you, Madiba. Happy birthday to you.
And we're still in Southern Africa. President Robert Mugabe's rivals say the chaotic organization of early voting for soldiers and police showed Zimbabwe was not ready for a July 31 general election in which more than 6 million people are registered to vote. Mugabe's main rival, Prime Minister Morgan Tsvangirai, told a rally that a long queue seen during 2 days of special voting for 70,000 police officers and soldiers clearly showed the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, ZEC, was ill-prepared. In a statement acknowledging what she called logistical challenges, ZEC chairwoman Rita Makarau apologized for the fact that some police officers and soldiers were unable to vote. ZEC officials say the delays arose primarily from the late printing of ballot papers following court challenges by candidates. We're still talking about elections. The architect of a peace deal between Mali's government and northern separatist rebels has pulled out of this month's presidential election after failing to have the July 28 vote postponed. Former Minister Tebile Drame has complained of French pressure to hold a vote that he says cannot be free and fair so soon after a war to liberate northern Mali from a mix of Tuareg separatists and Al-Qaeda-linked rebels. Drame, the lead government negotiator in last month's ceasefire deal with Tuaregs, said Mali's top court had failed to respond to his legal request to have the vote delayed. Advocacy groups warned that a botched and contested vote risks leading to another crisis. Fighting between government forces, rebels and rival tribes has cut off 100,000 people from urgently needed food and medical aid in South Sudan's east. South Sudan's army is facing a rebellion from local politician David Yao Yao in the vast Jonglei state, and new clashes have broken out between the rival Lo Nuer and Mole tribes. Western powers are worried the violence will escalate into full civil war. UN humanitarian aid chief Valerie Amos said the new fighting made it impossible to supply some 100,000 people in Pibor County in Jonglei State with life-saving assistance. The United Nations is reviewing support to Democratic Republic of Congo army units accused of desecrating the corpses of rebels and mistreating detainees during renewed fighting in the country's east. UN peacekeepers had raised the reported abuse of M23 rebels with the Congolese army and welcomed steps by the army to investigate the claims and to hold the perpetrators of the acts accountable. Congolese Army Forces, or FARDC, supported by helicopters, attacked M23 rebel positions near the eastern city of Goma on Tuesday in a third day of heavy fighting that has forced hundreds of villagers to flee their homes. Guinea has deployed security forces to towns in the southeast in a bid to stem 3 days of ethnic violence in which at least 17 people have been killed. Guinea's second city of Nzerekore and the surrounding region near the border with Ivory Coast have been gripped by clashes between local communities after a man accused of being a thief was lynched on Sunday. Government spokesman Damatang Albert Kamara said the toll rose to 17 after a death was reported on Wednesday in Bela, a town near Nzerekore. About 90 people have been injured. To North Africa, European Union Foreign Policy Chief Catherine Ashton is the latest senior international figure to visit Egypt's interim rulers. And unlike a U.S. envoy who visited 2 days ago, she also met senior figures in deposed President Morsi's Muslim Brotherhood. Ashton also expressed concern that she had not been allowed to see Morsi, who has been detained in an undisclosed location since the army toppled him.
We've talked with a lot of people about the prospect of elections to take place in the next few months. If those elections happen, the role that the European Union could play in helping to monitor, observe those elections. We've talked about building on the statements that I've made and the many phone conversations I've had with people here, the importance of a very inclusive process to ensure that this country, as it does belong to everyone here, that people can feel that they are participating in that. I've made it clear in my statements and in all of the meetings I've had that I believe he should be released, and I believe that political prisoners should be released. I make the distinction between people who may be being charged for other things and those who are being held. I was assured that he's well. I would have liked to have seen him, and I was assured that he is being well cared for.
Teachers in Kenya have called off a nationwide strike shortly after the government announced the indefinite closure of primary schools. The Kenya National Union of Teachers took the decision following talks with Deputy President William Ruto. Some 240,000 primary and secondary school teachers have been striking for more than 3 weeks for higher pay. It was the biggest crisis President Uhuru Kenyatta's government had faced since it won elections in March. The union seemed to have bowed to government pressure, ending the strike without securing major concessions. Hospital authorities treating the children suffering from food poisoning after eating contaminated food in a school in eastern India say the condition of most children is now improving. Speaking to reporters after assessing the health of the children in Patna City, Medical Superintendent of the government hospital, Dr. Amakan Jha, said that apart from one child who was still critical, condition of all other children was stable and improving. Police are still searching for the school headmistress who has disappeared. Meanwhile, 19 of the dead 22 children have been buried in and around the school grounds. Let's end the news in the Middle East. Israeli President Shimon Peres says he is optimistic about peace negotiations led by U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry.
The latest news I have is that Secretary Kerry really made real progress and the chances for an understanding heightened. And this day, tomorrow, another day are very crucial. It's touch and go. And I believe that the supreme effort the Secretary made bear some fruits on both sides, on the Palestinian and the Israeli. Let us try to open the negotiations. Wait a little bit. With any decision, maybe you will change your own mind. And I think it's crucial. And that is the reason why I really appeal to our friends in the European Union. Give peace a priority.
Well, that's about it on the Vox News. I'll be back with you shortly for more stories. Goodbye for now.